secondopinion.org. Today's session is about vitamin D. First thing that we try to go into is just the natural form of vitamin D. So you can start looking at your nutrients on your bottles and get an idea of what's the natural and synthetic form. And then we try to break down advantages, disadvantages, and then how medications interact, etc., etc., etc. So we hope that this will help. Let's immediately move into the natural form of D3, which is cholecalciferol. And you'll see it right here on your screen, so you'll be able to write it down. So cholecalciferol is the natural form of D3, and this is the form produced by the skin and found in food. When we go to synthetic forms, D2, ergocalciferol, this is man-made and irradiated by irradiating fungus, and has been shown to be a poor precursor of the biologically active form of vitamin D and can be more toxic. So you want to be really careful about getting a D2 form when D3 is not that much more expensive and is much better for your system. We need to know what a vitamin is. And a vitamin is an organic substance that is vital for life. Majority of the vitamins cannot be synthesized in the body, thus the diet or supplements must supply the needed amounts of these vitamins. In fact, when it's a fat-soluble vitamin, such as this vitamin, it requires a certain amount of fat to be given at the same time that you take the nutrient, or otherwise you probably are not going to absorb it in the first place. Now, isn't that really important? That the whole idea of taking the vitamin D needs to have an extra fat with it, or otherwise your absorption won't be as good. Just some inside information. Here's just a picture of ascorbic acid and natural vitamin C. The reason why is the top part is a synthesized form, natural form below. Look at the difference in the picture. Well, let me tell you, in Elements 2, it's a noticeable difference between these two. Noticeable. In fact, we know in synthetic forms, they're processed out of natural forms. And it's very, very important to take this nutrient with other synergistic nutrients that can make it work the best that it possibly can. So when it comes to these elements, we know that natural versus synthetic, and using using those type nutrients that are more natural and healthier for you is a very important element that you need to consider when it comes to this issue. They end up with problems with those synergistic nutrients and actually burn out some of the reserves within the body. So it is very important that you know that having the synergistic nutrients, in this case for vitamins, for this vitamin, is calcium, chlorine, EFAs, essential fatty acids, phosphorus, vitamin A, and vitamin C. So for this nutrient, it's a relatively big important area that vitamin D needs these areas. And we know that taking calcium without vitamin D is a bit of a waste, and you'll find a lot of